Hi, welcome back to Mellow Vybes channel. So this is something a little bit different. I did a hair video before talking about my lock journey, so if you want to see that, or just my whole hair journey, go back to that. I've had locks, or I started my lock journey March 2017, and I'm not going to explain too much of that because you can see that in my hair journey video, but essentially I've had locks since then, but they were faux, and since 2019, it's like been my own hair. Once I took out the locks, the faux locks, and my hair was locked, and that's where we've been. Okay, so this is where my hair is at now, and it looks kind of short right now, but the thing is, I like to keep my ends loose. So I've been going back and forth with this, right? Because I like my curls. You might not be able to see them that much right now, but not all of my ends are loose. Most of them are, I think, because if they've started to, like, I guess, butt up and have like blunt ends, and I don't like blunt ends. I really like my curls, and you know, I've combed them out with this tiny little comb. I've combed them out when they started to get, you know, blunt and everything, and so I have my loose ends. I can see my curls. And the thing with that is shrinkage, because then it's like, oh yeah, it's loose hair again, so there's shrinkage. So my hair looks kind of all over the place, and you know, with shrinkage, there are some in here where, and I don't know if I can find them right now, where it looks like this might be one of them. Like this looks like it's right here. Like if I just leave it alone, you know, that's like 4 inches longer. There's a few of them that are like 4 inches longer than the way they look. Okay, so I want to do stuff with my hair. I want a refresher. I'm getting bored. I used to do a million things to my hair all the time, which is why I never thought I would lock my hair, because I love versatility. But here we are. And I want to dye my hair. I used to dye my hair, not frequently, but usually I would dye my hair like red in the summer when I had loose hair, red in the summer, black in the winter. I've done a few times where I've done highlights. I've gone to the salon and gotten highlights. Otherwise, I do my own hair. I've done purple, like a super dark purple where you don't know it's purple until you hit the light. It's like eggplant. That was the last color I did. That's what I got locked in, was that color. And but my natural hair color is a dark brown. And if we're going by like hair color, like extension colors, my hair is a number 4. I would always buy number 4s. So my hair grows out like number 4 color, but it's way lighter at the end because obviously my older hair with like sun bleaching and all that stuff. So my hair is kind of reddish, orange, golden, whatever at points. And I'm tired of like the different shades, and I want to look fresh. So I bought this dye, but I also want to cut my hair. Well, trim my hair, layer my hair. The thing is, my hair naturally grows in layers. I discovered that when I went natural in 2010, so 13 years ago. And when I started like straightening my natural hair, I'm like, my hair naturally goes in layers. But with locks, you know, it can get a little bit funky sometimes. And some of my hair is like not, I mean, it's still really relatively in a layer, in layers, but I want it to be like really defined. For some reason, my locks on my edges are the longest. Don't know why that is. So, well, visibly the longest. So like these are my edges, and they are visibly the longest lock. And I say visibly because, again, shrinkage. So need to cut those. And I've trimmed a tiny bit before, but nothing like really, just like where the ends look super straggly, or there's like, you know, there's like hair hanging off like this. I've never like cut my hair, so I'm a little bit like, oh my gosh. So I don't really want to take length off. At most maybe an inch, like off of the longest layer. And then for the shortest layer, to be around my face, I want it to be long enough to be able to put it around my my ear still. So I still don't think I'm going to take more than an inch off, maybe an inch and a half, but it depends on the hair that's around it. I went really back and forth between whether I was going to cut my hair dry or wet, and I know it's like better for curly hair to just cut it curly because that's what it's going to look like most of the time. Instead of when it's wet, it's more in a stretched, lengthened state, but whatever. I'm going to cut it wet after I dye my hair and see how it goes. Yeah, I'm not nervous, but kind of nervous. I'm like, I just hope I'll like it. And I am also going back and forth between, I've cut my hair like my whole life. So, but I've never, like, it was loose hair. So we'll see how this goes. And also, like, look, I've had some of my hair like twisted around each other and all this stuff. So this is like curly. And so I need everything to look basically straight. So I'm going to wash my hair. I'll dye it, wash it. Yeah, and I've gone back and forth with, once I cut my hair, for a lot of them, I won't have any loose ends, depending on how much I cut off, because some have a lot of loose ends. This is another one that's like super coily. Like, if you can see this is not a great camera, but you can see this. So, my coily spring. So once I cut my hair, I won't have loose ends on most of them, if not all. And I'm like, am I going to live like that? So, because I remember when I like initially started, everyone's like, well, your ends are gonna like butt up at some point, or they're gonna lock up at some point or another. You're not gonna have loose ends forever. And I'm like, yes, I will, because I was like totally maintaining the two textures. It's difficult, but I did it for the most part. And then where it would lock up anyway, like I said, I was combing out ends, which also ended up taking out some length, because once you come out ends, like you're pulling out a lot of dead hair, and then you're kind of taking off some of the length. Whatever. So I will see, I guess, after I cut it, if I'm just going to stick with the blunt look, or come out the ends. But that would be like so much work. Like literally for me to come out the ends of even one of these, like sometimes is more than a half hour. So, well, yeah, I think all of them actually are loose now. So, like I said, not all of them I had to do that with. Some of them were already, they were already loose and stayed that way. Or I had a lot longer loose ends and, either breakage or they locked up. But I'm like, maybe I'll go for the blunt look for a while. And then if I freak out because I need to see my curls again, I'll come out the ends. So we'll see how this goes. But we're going to start with a hair color. And this is what I bought. I use natural hair dyes. I've never used this. But even before I locked my hair, I always use natural hair dyes. Not always, but for a while. I think since I went natural, I started using natural hair dyes. And so this is a hair shampoo. I was kind of between this and this hair dye Herba Tint that was made in Italy. And if you know me, I love everything Italian. So I was like really tempted to get that. Really good reviews. Actually, I have better reviews than this, but I just figured like this is simpler and there's more, like it's just a shampoo. And yeah, and the reviews were decent too. Like I like to look specifically at the recent reviews. So the review is really good. And so I'm going to do this. So it's a shampoo, like I said. It has a lot of amazing ingredients, like black sesame seed is in this. And I heard, I've done a lot of research actually on hair. And black sesame is like a really amazing ingredient that's in a lot of like hair growth serums and stuff like that. So there's that in it. There's I'm like, why doesn't it say it on the box, all of the natural things? And it was on the advertisement. I bought this on Amazon for like $17 or $18. There's other brands that are similar. There was one that was like $2 less. So I was like, I'm gonna go with this. I think it also had aloe in it. And I want to say, I mean, I don't know what this plant is supposed to be, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't the ones that were listed that's in here. But yeah, so there's a ton of natural ingredients in this, is my point. And because it's a 3-in-1, it's supposed to be like a shampoo, conditioner, hair dye. So I'm going to go with this. Like I said, it doesn't mention the natural ingredients. It mentions like the active ingredients that actually dye your hair in it instead of like the natural things, whatever. So this is the bottle, and it says it's supposed to last for like 30 days. And so we'll see. And we'll see how dark my hair gets. These are these, so we'll see what I mean, this is definitely the gloves, right? I think they said it comes with like a cape or whatever, so we'll see. I think it's supposed to stay in my hair for about 15 minutes. But yeah, I ordered this yesterday on Amazon, and it came today. So let's see how this goes. I'm assuming it's kind of like henna, which I've hennaed my hair in it, and I've had it henna shampoo as well. I still have henna, actually, that I could be using. But then that would give me not the color that I want. I want it to be darker. I feel like when I dye my hair black, I always look more fresh. We'll see if I look older, because I used to dye my hair black when I was younger, because it would make me look older to me. And because people always think I'm so much younger than I am. And that was annoying. But obviously everyone always said, you'll appreciate it when you're older. I'm sure. to an extent, you know. If people are not great people, they talk to you, they try to speak to you in a disrespectful way because they think you're young. And I'm like, excuse you, I'm older than you. We should never talk down to somebody just because of their age. My mom goes through that still. She's past 60. People think she's like 40. And then she works with people that are older than 40. So then they try to say stuff to her, and she's like, excuse you, I could be your mother. Okay, yeah, so it says to just put it on dry hair. That's why I would have to wash my hair first. And I feel like with a lot of dyes, you do usually wash your hair first. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm pumping. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's like a dual thing happening. You can see that. It's like one is a clear and one is brown. And I don't know what that is. Okay. It says it's not supposed to dye your skin. We'll see. I mean, I don't know how it could not if you get it on your skin, because I think it just touched my ear. I remember dyeing my hair red one time and I didn't use gloves, so I was just like so annoyed with putting gloves on, and because they never fit and all that stuff. And afterward, it looked like I was in some shady business with red all over my hands. But even though I'm wearing these gloves, I should have taken my ring off. Totally forgot to do that. Okay. So for the most part, okay, like I said, I started with extensions, and I actually just had some extensions recently because I got married and I wanted my hair to be longer. Like I said, some of my, there's a difference with my ends, even where if they're all loose. I have different hair textures, some more coily, some more wavy. and I just wanted like, it to look the same. So I still have like hair extensions from when I even did my hair 6 years ago with the flow locks. And so the more like wavy hair that gives like, the goddess lock look, I used some of that hair to like lengthen my locks for my wedding and more so make it even symmetrical, whatever. So it kind of just added maybe like 2 inches to my length, but it was about like keeping the ends the same like texture, and it made it so much easier to like braid my hair and all that stuff too. Because when your ends are blunt, it's like, how are you braiding your hair? It's like you have to use rubber bands and stuff, and I hate that because they always pop after like a half hour. Anyway, the point is, I have like 2 or 3 locks in here in the front on both sides that still have some of the extension in it. And that's because they're really short. So like I started new locks around my edges, and then it kind of just gets weird when you're styling your hair because it's a lot shorter than everything else. And so I still have extensions on a couple of them, so you can see it's still short, with the extensions. That's not it. Like, why can't I see it? It should be pretty obvious. I'll see it eventually. So like 2 or 3 of them still have some extension on it. And I still have a short lock that I don't have anything on, and that's this one. That is the new one. I've been growing my hair. I think I said in my last hair video that I've had like really thin hair on mostly my right edges since I was 17 from a relaxer burn. And I think that's a common thing. If you've all had relaxer burns, you are Afro-American. So that has really stunted a lot of my growth. And so I worked on that. I started working on that pretty late, actually, and most of my follicles are probably dead at this point. When I started working on that, and I got this relaxed burn when I was like 17. I started working on my hair growth when I was 27. It was way too late. I think your follicles are dormant after 9 years. But whatever, I still tried stuff, and it still actually like stimulated some growth. So like I do clove water, rose water, bacana oil, and that's helped. Okay, so here is, I have it wrapped around this other one. But yeah, these are extensions because of my short locks. So because I've had some more hair growth, I've been able to start newer locks instead of when I started my locks, the thinner hair was just wrapped up into, a bigger lock. But now I can actually like make it its own thing instead of like trying to stretch it to fit into something else. I haven't even been timing myself. So I'm gonna look at, I think it was around 5:40. So like I said, I think I'm gonna do 15 minutes tops. There's some variations on this, I guess it depends on how dark you want your hair. It's like 5 to 20 minutes, but I guess like no longer than like 25. So I think I'll pause this and come back when I'm done and ready to cut. How do I stop the video? Okay, my hair already looks darker. It definitely was starting to stain my skin where I got some on my wrist, but I just washed it off. I forgot to say you're supposed to foam, like lather first. I totally forgot that while I was like on camera, and then like paused the camera. I was like, oh crap, I'm supposed to lather. So I'm supposed to lather those two, because like I said, it's coming out of two different sides. You're supposed to lather them together. So I did that. So hopefully it's okay that I didn't at first. But look at how black this looks already. Yeah, so I'm about to wash it off, and we're gonna see. Like, this is the first time I've dyed my hair since getting locks. And yeah, because like I dyed my hair last 6 years ago, like 6.5 years ago, and it's my first time dyeing my hair since getting gray hair. So I have maybe 3 or 4. So I guess those are gonna be covered now. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I didn't anticipate that it might be harder for me to cut my hair, since when my hair is wet, the curls are popping, like they look more beautiful, but we'll see. But I definitely, when I was washing it out, could see parts where it didn't take or didn't hit that well, where it actually looks like a patchwork of brown and black. But I'm like, oh snap, like my hair is actually black. So I'll uncover that in a bit once I put a little bit of clothes on. It felt a little stiff at first, dye, but then it advises to wash with your own shampoo and conditioner, so it feels good now. But it didn't feel like it wasn't horrible. And I definitely, I hadn't intended on like dyeing my hair once I locked it, even though I know people do that all the time. But just the fact that it's locked, I'm just like, okay, like, how do you know everything is out? Like, it could be like inside your strand, still damaging stuff and all that stuff. But I feel good with this being like a natural dye shampoo. So if there's anything left, I feel like, my hair's not gonna fall out of my head. Shouldn't be anything left. I shampooed twice and conditioned, so we'll get into the cut. I realized I didn't do a before picture. I'm gonna see if I can take a still of me talking earlier in the video, unless I can find a decent recent picture, but I don't usually take pictures of myself, so we'll see. And I know once I cut my hair won't be dry, so I won't see the final outcome either. So I'll have to just put a picture at the end. So be right back. Almost doesn't count. It's almost there. I mean, it's definitely like there's a lot of black, but as soon as I took my my t-shirt down, I use a t-shirt to dry my hair. I saw my brown strand. So there's like a huge difference, but good for a first try. So this is like the brown one. This is the black one. I think you can kind of see that. Yeah, you should be able to. So this is already a really long video, but I'm probably gonna just either show the first cut or two, and then like speed it up maybe. Whatever that thing is, whatever that effect is to speed it up. So we'll see. I contemplated a few different ways to cut, but we'll just see what I end up doing. I'm going to worry about putting products in after I cut my hair. Will not worry about it now. And I think I will do that speed up thing so that I can actually listen to what I'm listening to, which is Nikki Star on YouTube. See, okay, like you can see my curls more. That's going to get cut off. And look at this. This looks absurd. Yeah. So let's go. Well, I'm not going to go straight across because these are all going to be different. Well, I can go straight across and then go up from there. Really not trying to cut off that much because I'm going to cut off more for the ones closer to my face. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, that's not even straight. I can't do this on camera. I can't do it. Look at what I just cut. Yeah. Not really straight, but I'm like, should I have started in the front? Should have started with this. Okay. Well, definitely. I'm gonna look at it. I'm just gonna look at it on the camera. Oh gosh. Okay. That was just like an inch. I need to cut off more still. Okay, here's the other one. I was like, where's the other one? Okay. Looks like asparagus tips. I'm gonna pause this. I don't know if I'll do the freeze frame. I'm gonna pause this so I can concentrate, and I'll just come back and show the final.
I'm nervous. And I'm not trying to be hard on Elisa because I feel like the Black community is hard on Black bimbos. And I feel like there should be a space for us to embrace Black bimbos and himbos. So I'm not trying to be hard on her, but I just feel like the decisions she makes are just,
Me now?
Oh my God, the circle. What is it called? The well? What's that thing?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What's it, a circle?
No, I don't remember that horrible movie. So Mom called me, obviously saw that. I'm done, and it's not as drastic as I was going for. When I was younger, and I was younger, yesterday, but when I was younger, I used to like be so scissor happy, which like right before I put my hair in locks, I cut off mad hair and I did it in layers and everything. But this was like killing me. So I didn't do as much as I thought I was gonna do, but some parts, like the ones that I said were super, super long, like I cut off like 5 inches of that. I still don't know what I'm doing. Like, I didn't know what I was doing when I was cutting for the most part. I was just like, I'm just trying to even everything out, first of all, based on like what layer it's on, and so I even things out. I still don't know what I'm doing with the, now some things are blunt and some things, even though I cut, still have a lot of loose ends. So I try to even as much as I can. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'm just gonna leave it like this for a minute, but I will see. So I need to dry my hair before it's, starts to smell sour. So I'm gonna blow dry my hair. But yeah, I went back in a couple times with the front so I could do some more layers and like more of a frame around my face. And so I like it a lot more. Obviously you can see some of these ends. I'm just like, okay. So I've been like trying to braid them. The point is, the thing is that my ends were braided. My loose ends were loose because they were braided. Because that's how I started locking my hair. But because my hair is so flat, my hair is flat anyway. I never had a lot of hair. I have thin hair. It's not thick. So I was like, I was looking at lock videos and they were saying like for a thicker, like a more like voluminous lock, then twists will give you that. So I started twisting my loose ends and like undoing the braiding that I had started with. But then it just makes it, like I said, more shrinkage and more like puffiness at the ends as opposed to like that's not really the look, I guess. So now I'm trying to, if I can, braid them. But yeah, this is what we have, and I like it. My mom, as soon as she just happened to call me, so as soon as we're on the phone, she's like, "Oh, I can tell, like it looks so good." And there's like one, there's a couple, but there's definitely some locks that just didn't seem to get touched. Maybe that was, when I wasn't lathering it. And you can just, it's drastic. The difference is drastic. Like my natural hair color from black is drastic. So, yeah, you can see this one right here versus this. So I'm going to blow dry it and see how that looks after. I can already see, because I keep trying to go back in and trim more stuff, and then I'm like, no, because it's starting to dry, so it's changing the length of everything. So I just need to dry my whole head. So we'll do. Okay, my hair is not exactly fully dry, but it's dry enough, and I'm tired of being in here. I threw in like curlers for like literally like 30 minutes so that you could see more of a difference. I actually didn't think it was going to curl that much, or else I would have just done the whole head. because I've given up with curling my hair. It takes a long time. It hurts to sleep in, and then it falls out in like less than an hour or something. So I used my regular dryer, this, and I used the Cool Shot for the ends. I was stretching my hair while it was drying, so my ends do look looser. I go back and forth between that and like my hooded dryer. If I'm not in a rush, I'll use my hooded dryer. But if I'm just trying to get somewhere fast, this will do like the trick so that it's dry enough for me to, go about my day. I will say I was really happy that when I was cutting my hair, I was looking at, what I cut off, and it looked relatively clean. Like there was not a lot of residue or lint. It looked pretty good. And I was like, yeah, of course, you clean your hair all the time. So that, and I don't know, like so I've cut off a couple of locks, and it might be like literally like just 2 in the past because they were at the nape of my neck and they were super, super long. And it's like, I had to really think about it because I'm like, when you have the nape of your neck doesn't really ever have like a lot of hair. Like this is way too heavy, so I just like cut it off. But I still have, some that are more like these are just, this is just hair that maybe I should trim because it's starting to get too long. So I think this is kind of like where one of them was, and I cut it off, but your hair grows, so now it's like longer little wisp. But I do have longer ones back here, so I'm trying to. It's more like I think this one that maybe I should cut off. So I'm trying to figure out like where do I end with growing my locks at the back of my head. So that's something I'll look into a little bit later, but this is it. And you see how quickly that fell. So it looks, the curls are, what am I saying? You see how quickly the curls fell, but you can see a little bit more of the layers. I'm like, what is this? So it looks a lot better on this side, how it fell than this one, but yeah, I am done for now. Like this, I try to wrap around another one because like I said, this is one of the locks that's a new lock, and I didn't add an extension to it so that it wouldn't bother me. So I'm just gonna twist it around this one. Okay. So here we are. The lighting in this bathroom isn't super great. Okay, there's both lights. Still not super great, but it's my hair. And like I said, didn't take that much length off of it. It's probably lackluster, but whatever. It was a big deal for me. So hope you enjoyed. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with my end. I mean, maybe I'll just, whatever. It'll be what it is. Maybe I'll go in a little bit later and cut some more. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm happy I cut it. It looks fresh. So thanks for watching. Peace and mellow vibes.